Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. It's Monday morning, mind, body, and soul. Let's start this week off right. Let's get into today's topic. I want to talk about virtue. I want to talk about building character. We build virtue through building character. We build character every single day. We build our character through following our purpose and our meaning in life. You find your purpose and your meaning in life through daily discipline. That daily grind. That incremental approach to life, every single day, getting the things done, a repetitive process of productivity, followed by some added extras that fulfill you and move you forward. You always want to be able to throw on extras if you can, push your diet further if you can, push your weight training further if you can, push your learning further if you can, and this will push you further, build your character further. Building character is a lifetime process. It can feel like a chore. It can feel delightful. It just depends on our mood. But it's something that we need to stay disciplined at because it doesn't happen on its own. A lot of people, they kind of just think that they're a good person and that it just somehow happened on its own. Well, my dad raised me to be a good person. Like as if they're done. I can't relate to people like that. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about when people just kind of naturally feel like good people. I don't even know what that is. No idea. I'm not on the same page as you. I'm not like you. Because I don't really feel like a good person all the time. I have violent thoughts, crazy thoughts, psychotic thoughts, thoughts about killing people. I admit that. I run violent fantasies in my head. I have to figure out how to stop them. I've been a bad person. Thou shalt not steal. I stole a lot. I used to love it. I was really good at it. I lived in kind of a bizarro world. When you're in the streets long enough, when I talk about the streets, I'm talking about the criminal underworld. And when you're in that environment long enough around those types of people, and I was in a bubble, I intentionally tried to shut myself out from the rest of the world, like being in a cult. I didn't want to be around normal people. You get a twisted sense of virtues and character. It's like being in a bizarro world, like in a Superman comic. Everything is on its head. And I mean, maybe a lot of people can't relate to this. Maybe you guys had this Leave It to Beaver lifestyle. Who even knows why you're on this channel? And you grew up great. You knew what right and wrong was. Real clear ideas. You helped people. You're righteous. And none of that. I was a selfish little brat, raised by selfish brat parents. In a dog-eat-dog, only the strong survive society. I tried to philosophize my way into virtue. I don't think it works. I don't think a bad person can sit there and ponder, no matter how intelligent they are, even if they're a supervillain and they are genius, intelligent, usually supervillains have that high intelligence level. Even someone like that, someone from a James Bond movie, they're not going to just have that revelation because they're so smart and they can think so logically and clearly and latch on to, ideas that make sense. It doesn't work that way. You don't just realize virtue. Well, I'm going to be a good person. I think God wants me to be a good person. I think that's what's going to happen now. I'm going to just be a good person. It didn't work that way for me. I thought about that shit. I never really understood what it meant to be a good person. I kind of looked at life as from a selfish point of view. We're all self-serving. Every single person out there is self-serving. You just do what serves you until it doesn't serve you any longer, and then you do something else. Everything is arbitrary. Good and bad is arbitrary. What's bad for you is good for me. It's all relative. Those are all excuses that the weak person tells themselves in order to justify their stagnation in life, in order to justify their delusions in life, in order to justify their bad virtue. If you can have good virtue, you can have bad virtue. Bad virtue doesn't just work itself out. wrinkles don't just flatten out on their own. You got to iron them out. You have to practice virtue. It starts with daily discipline. I found virtue through a life of daily discipline, doing things I didn't want to, meeting a daily suffering, putting myself through a form of training with mind, body, and soul activities. I had to give up on the personas of the past that I felt so comfortable in and be willing to start a new project, that project of myself, to be willing to let go of who I thought I was, what I thought I believed, all that comfort zone. Your beliefs are your comfort zone. It's how you get through the day. Without those long-held beliefs that you've latched onto, who are you? Who even are you anymore? Your whole persona crumbles. The idea of yourself crumbles. You turn into nothing. That feels very scary in the beginning. That's the beginning of your power. You have to become nothing in order to become powerful. You have to give up the old, release the old in order to make way for the new. You have to give up on those old personas that you created because of past trauma and emotional pain to protect yourself as you walk through life. You have to give up on that shit. Rip that Band-Aid off. Let that wound see the fucking light and to feel the air and to be sensitive and let it heal properly. People without virtue are broken. They're broken. People without discipline are broken. People without discipline are without virtue. How do you even call yourself a good person if you chase pleasure all day? If you're self-serving, if you're narcissistic, egotistical, thinking that life is just about your desires, the end of your day after your work so you can party. That's what it's about, right? How many people have you helped in this last week? I'm not talking about your kids. It's nice that some people take care of their kids. But I get annoyed sometimes when people think that that's all there is to being virtuous and to having character and to being a good person. You're supposed to take care of your kids. You can't just have kids and say, look, I take care of them. Give me a prize, give me a medal. Look how great I am. Well, compared to all the deadbeat dads, I'm a god. Right? It's like somebody who gets a houseplant and then wants everybody to pat them on the back for watering it every day. You're supposed to water it. You're a jerk if you don't. I mean, it takes an attitude of this willingness to go above and beyond your normal character, your baseline, of who you think you are, of who your parents made you into, of who you allowed yourself to become because of the emotional attachments that you've had and the traumas that you've gone through. This person or many people that live inside your head that you switch back and forth like trying on different clothes. All that attachment's what's holding you back from your greatness. Your greatness lies in your virtue. Virtuous people are great. Non-virtuous people are not great. If you're not working every day towards your virtue, towards building your character, you're a loser. You're a burden. You're not doing your job. You're wasting your life. We become stronger individually. You find your power in your virtue. You find your power in your daily discipline, in that incremental approach to life, to building yourself as a whole person, and that overflows. Those realizations of virtue of right and wrong, of good and bad, of where you need to lie in this spectrum of life. Those realizations become crystal clear as your daily discipline unfolds. You don't find yourself necessarily. It's not like you were lost. You realize yourself because it was hidden within inside you. It's an inner transformation. You have to allow that chrysalis, that cocoon. You have to allow the creature to go, that demon inside of you to transform from one being to the next, from one state of existence to the next. And we do that through a process of daily discipline, through work, through training, mindset training and body training, educational training and spiritual training. We do this every single day, and as we do this, we build virtue. We care for others more. We realize that we're not the center of the universe. Our narcissism fades away. We learn to just take care of more than just our families. It's not just your son and your daughter and your wife that matters. You realize that other men matter, other people matter, that the society and my culture, my group, my community matters, and I'm a part of it. I may have been self-isolating and not even felt like I was a part of my neighborhood, my community, my town, my country. Take an active role. You don't just live here. You're not just on this earth to waste your time and then to die and fill up some space in a graveyard or someone's mantle with your little stupid ashes. You're here to make a change, to affect people, and you affect people through that virtue and that character that you're building. It's all just food for thought. Get busy today. Help someone out. Go above and beyond. Think about superhero shit. What would a superhero do? What would Jesus do? What would Superman do? Start living up to a higher expectation of self. Thanks for watching.